Right, I'm finally getting to do Double Island Road on this beautiful day. I think the last video I made up on Mount Mitchell, the leaves were a bit past peak there, but the leaves right here around in Burnsville seem just about peak. And here in the next couple of weeks, it's going to be a great time to see leaves in Asheville and then further south in like Chimney Rock and Saluda. I remember that someone commented on one of my videos a few months ago and asked me to do a Double Island video, so I'm finally getting around to it. So I hope that that person sees it. I feel like Double Island is sort of one of the best kept secrets around here for motorcycle riders. The traffic is not bad. It's really fun, has lots of great curves and hills in it, beautiful scenery. But it's just not as well known as like the Tail of the Dragon or the Diamondback or the Blue Ridge Parkway. It's gotten a little more challenging to make videos these days. While I'm editing and now recording, I'm usually holding the baby in one arm and wrangling the dog in the other arm, but I love it. Being a father is the best feeling in the world. Absolutely so thankful. I am 34 years old, so a bit later than lots of fathers get to it, but I am loving every minute of it. It's just a feeling like nothing else when you're holding your baby. I really appreciate people still watching my videos. I really first started making them when Hurricane Helene came to document that, but I just figured out that I really enjoyed doing it, and the seasons are always changing and stuff is always going on here in Western North Carolina, so I plan to keep making videos, so I really appreciate your continued interest in them. If anybody has some different ideas for what kind of videos I could make in the future, or any areas that you would specifically like to see, please let me know in the comments and I'll see what I can do. I have not ridden down the full length of Double Island Road here since before Hurricane Helene, so I'm curious to see what's going on down here. When we get to the end of it, we'll connect with Highway 197, which rides parallel to the Tow River, so I know we'll see some updates on the damage repair there. But yeah, we'll see what happened along the Double Island Road here today. I'm starting to see these AI videos pop up, and some of them are getting pretty good. You can barely tell they're fake, but I can promise you that I'm never going to use AI on this YouTube channel. What you see here is always going to be just kind of simple and real. I did change my video editing software. I had been using iMovie, but with my Mount Mitchell hike video that I just made, I made the whole video and then it was not exporting the video, and I just kept having issues with iMovie, which I had a little bit of issues before. So this video and the Mount Mitchell hiking video are being made on the VN editing software, so I hope that they're still coming out good. That road on the right is called Rose's Branch Road. That's one of the very first roads that I went down when I first got my motorcycle. It's a kind of a gnarly dirt road, and it goes down and follows the Tow River and then comes out near the railroad tracks down east a couple of miles from here. That's the Woody Cemetery on the left. I know several folks with the last name Woody. I'll have to ask them if there's a relation there. Probably is. That's the Pleasant Grove Baptist Church on the right. I was talking to a fella who has some riverfront property off of this road, and he said that he went on a little kayaking trip for a couple of miles and he saw 12 cars in the river. Beautiful house up there on the hill. I bet with all those windows that can stay warm with the sun up there. There's a buck in the front yard. Can't really get a great shot of it from here, but that was a buck with some pretty good antlers. You can tell that driveway on the left is new gravel and straw covering a washout, and there's a bit of the asphalt washed out and replaced right there as well. I think that's probably the first storm damage I've seen on this road. And then right here we've got a big long section of pavement that has been replaced. There's a creek down there that I guess it just washed up far enough to take that bit of asphalt out. And some more here. You can't even see that little creek down there, but yep, still some damage on this road, though I had not seen it yet. The beautiful church there, United Methodist Church, that sign says. I noticed they still had a portable toilet, and there over on the right was a camper. I'm sure anyone that lived close to that little creek down there Like, you can tell this house here has some major damage. Alright, now getting to the end of Double Island Road. This is Highway 197 and the Toe River, the North Toe River over there. We'll turn right, headed eastbound. You can see evidence of a big washout here in front of the bridge with that new pavement. And here on the other side of the bridge, you can see that this is recently paved to fix a big washout as well. I remember there was a big shed sitting there on the right beside the railroad tracks, just kind of sitting up on its side last time I came through here. Folks living in a camper there on the left, and you can tell that that house is being repaired. We'll go ahead and turn around here, but I think if you keep following this road, you can end up near Erwin, Tennessee. I've taken that route before to make my Erwin video. Yeah, you can see on the right, there's a tent set up there as well as a camper well over a year later. I suffered some bad damage from the hurricane, some serious financial setbacks, but a lot of people had it much off worse than me, and for the most part, really not much help from the government, but I am so appreciative of Samaritan's Ministries and other great groups that have helped out. You can tell how high the water was by all that debris stuck up in the trees. Then over there on the other side of the river, there is a tunnel that the train tracks go through. Kind of the edge of that mountain over there. Pretty neat. The sunlight shining on the mountains looks so much more intense in the winter. Beautiful. On the left, you can see where a home is totally destroyed and a cross with someone's hat on it. So that is where someone was killed by the river right here. Another home destroyed on the left there. You can see they're using a portable toilet and a camper and just kind of salvaging what they can from their old property. I see a pair of pants and a bed sheet and a pillow stuck in those trees there. So sad. I won't mention it every time, but you can see all these sections that are fresh pavement. Those were all big washouts. You can look over on the other side of the river. They've got new railroad stone over there. Alright, we're riding on Highway 197 going westbound now, and coming up soon we will go right to head toward Green Mountain. If we went left here, we would go down into Burnsville. Wow, look at that neat house on the left. Very cool old style cabin chinking. This bridge up here ahead on my right, that was completely taken out. Some crews were working on building it the last time I was through here. And of course you might have noticed we just rode over a big piece of new asphalt. Alright, so this is my first time ever going over this bridge. Imagine how furious the river must have gotten to take this thing out. Over on the other side, there's some kind of industrial building that helps support the railroad, and I believe all of this railway through here belongs to the CSX company, and Norfolk Southern makes the actual trains. See these big piles of sticks and debris all washed up into a pile? That was washed up there by the river. I guess it rose maybe 30 to 45 feet, something like that. You can see that there's a good bit of mud and sand that are left up here from the river. And I guess this facility has probably not been used since the hurricane. I'm not totally sure. Yep, more debris piles through here, river sand, and these sheet metal buildings just shredded. I mean, looks like an extra large paper that went through the office paper shredder, but this is big, heavy-duty pieces of sheet metal. I wonder where this tree floated from to get here. Probably traveled far and fast. And there across the river, you see the beautiful little town of Green Mountain. It looks like maybe 30 to 40 feet of this paved lot here got washed away. More sand just washed up from the bottom of the river. And we can see the remnants of a metal chain link fence that just the fence and the post are all crumpled up. So I think this facility and all the tracks through here belong to CSX, the Chessie Seaboard Railroad System. And everywhere between here and Irwin, Tennessee, they had to do lots of repairs on the train track system. I rode going this direction through to Irwin once, and along the way I saw hundreds, maybe thousands of dump trucks and lots of little temporary gravel roads that said like CSX work road on them. I love how intensely the sun shines on the mountains as you get into the fall and winter time. It might look like a special effect, but no, it actually looks like this, and that always happens in the evenings in fall and winter around here. Green Mountain here looking so much better. There were several feet of mud and silt in those buildings on my left that we just passed. And alongside the right, there were several cars just washed up, ruined cars and debris piles, but it's looking much better. Of course, this is another new section of pavement we just rode over. You can see through here the bits of trash and debris stuck in the trees on both the right and left sides of the road, so that's a good indication of exactly how high the water was. That's Long Branch Road that we just passed on the left. That road was totally washed out. Alright, I'm going to turn around right here. I'm still wearing my summertime riding gloves and it's getting a bit chilly. But if we were to go to the left here, that would be Bailey Branch Road, and that dead ends in a couple of miles. But if we were to turn to the right and go back behind me, that is the Relief Extension Road, and that connects to Highway 197 And from there, you can go on to Bailey and Poplar. And if you were to keep going on Highway 197 past Bailey and Poplar, you would get to the Appalachian Trail, close to Beauty Spot. That driveway on the right goes up to the site of a totally flooded out, destroyed house, and you can see the burning bush right now is really at peak. Such bright colors. The sign says you gotta go 15 miles an hour through downtown Green Mountain here. That's the O.C. Whitson store on the right, general store, and they sell furniture and mattresses. Great to see that reopened. I'm not sure exactly when they opened again, but they were closed for quite a while. There's another flood car there. There you see the contents of someone's house just piled up in the yard. Looks like they're living in a camper. And that is the way it is for many folks here in western North Carolina. Right here at the end of Toe River Road, where it runs into Highway 197, so we'll turn to the left here, going kind of in the east direction. We'll take a closer look at the Free Will Baptist Church here. I love seeing all these old country churches around. So neat. Let's see, it says, "Faith is the seed, joy is the harvest. Amen." This sign says, "Thank you to all who helped in our greatest time of need." And yeah, I mean, I do think as long as I've lived in western North Carolina, like 35 years, this has been our greatest time of need collectively. And I mean, riding past, we just passed two folks who had completely had their homes destroyed. They're still living in campers, and those campers were probably donated, and we're so grateful for all the donations like that have helped out. And I think back to in the first, few months after the storm, when I would drive out on 19 and just see miles of, trucks with utility trailers and tools, like basically in line to help. I mean, it was so touching and so amazing. Here's a better angle of that cross with the hat on top of it, next to the only thing still remaining from the home where that person was killed, the chimney. It is really heartbreaking to think of all the families who have lost loved ones to the hurricane, and all the people who have worked their whole lives to build their house and pay it off, and then have it destroyed, and they will probably be living in a camper the rest of their lives. I got this information from the CeLo List email. If you're struggling with temporary housing, you can contact Jared Dubbin, jdubbin at thebeaconnetwork.org, 828-333-7338. We saw, like 4 or 5 people just today that had been displaced, still living in campers, so you can contact them for help winterizing the camper, and the Red Cross is still helping out folks there, so you can apply to that. At the end of that email, it said to apply for the North Carolina Private Road and Bridge Reimbursement Program if you've had serious cost with repairing your, access to your house. I have applied to that program and may get something out of it, but have not yet. So far, it's just been kind of more red tape. So all of these programs are a little harder to actually get help from than they should be, I think, but people doing great work. The Samaritan's Purse Ministries, that's a great group to donate to or go to for help. And Precision Grading in the Chimney Rock area is accepting donations to continue their work. Many people have it way worse off than me with this situation, but I mean, I'm going to be working to, recover from this for the next several years. I mean, I think this hurricane probably cost me at least $150,000. I've seen 6 or 7 deer out this evening. Love seeing animals out when I ride around. Hopefully none of them will go in the road. I've been going a little bit slower on my motorcycle than normal maybe because I do not want to run into a deer. Now passing back by the Woody Cemetery there on the right, and the moon this evening just looks incredible. I mean, it looks kind of giant and closer up than it usually does. Looks like a full moon. I know, of course, my GoPro won't do it justice, but it is a beautiful evening. And there's some more deer. Y'all stay over there, please. getting close to the end of Double Island Road here. The leaves have been just about peak in this area of Burnsville, so look for them in like Marion, Asheville, and south of Asheville. They're going to have good leaves right now. I'm going to do an update on Highway 80 going past the Parkway. It's supposed to open